Good morning, my friends out in YouTube land. This is the Snowbird Gardener coming to you from the ranch. Have you heard of waffle gardening? That was a technique that the early Americans used to use here in the desert Southwest, where they would dig little squares in the ground and plant their seeds in that. And then those little depressions would catch extra rain. So I'm starting to do some waffle gardening, and I'll show you. I used a square shovel to chop out some little places among the rocks. Then I took the fork and made some little holes in there. And I just planted random seeds. I just want to get a feel for what will grow around here. Now this morning I came out and it looks like a critter has dug into the little holes where I had the seeds, probably eating the seeds. So I'm going to go ahead and put a couple more seeds down in each of those holes and cover them up, and we'll see what happens. I love how when I walk on this ground, even in the driest places, the ground kind of gives. It has a cushiony feel to it. Here's the littlest baby tree that's growing naturally on the property. I believe it is a Utah juniper, although when they're young, they have little spikes. It's about 10 inches tall, and I saw it last year. I think it's so interesting how it's cuddled up here against a Sonoran oak. I believe the Sonoran oak is kind of a nurse plant to it. I've been looking up nurse plants, and it's where two plants grow together and they help each other. For example, this one is probably shading the little one from the strong southwesterly winds. Now here's an example of some older trees. See at the bottom here on the right is the trunk of a pinyon pine, and then to the left here is a huge amount of trunks to the Sonoran oak. And if we look up, we can see that the oak has died back several times. See the empty limbs? Which I think is so interesting. It's as if the oak tree has protected the pine over the years, and it just dies back, and possibly someday it will die back completely and leave the pine tree to grow. That would be the example of a nurse plant. Here we may have another example. There's a Sonoran oak, and then this is a cliff rose growing on this side of it. And I notice that oftentimes the littler plant will be on the north side of the other plant, as if again that the bigger one is protecting the little one from the strong winds. Here I'll get a close-up of this cliff rose. It's just starting to come out. Just getting some buds. Let's see if we can see a few more here. The cliff rose. I've also seen it called a Scotch rose. But it smells good when it all comes out into bloom. It's nice. Let me see if I can find some more examples of the two plants growing together, helping each other. Okay, here's an example. Here is a small Sonoran oak right to the north of a little bit bigger juniper. So in this case, I would think that the juniper is protecting the little one. Now here's one. To the right is a juniper, And to the left, you'll see the trunk. Let's see if I can get closer. The trunk of the Sonoran oak. They are so close together. You would think that one of them would outcompete the other, but that's not the case. They both grew almost out of the same little space. And I would say that the older juniper has been protecting the smaller oak. All right, here's a big juniper. To the left, underneath, is a small juniper. Even though they're old, look at the trunks. You can tell these are old trees. But the interesting thing is that right in the midst of this small one is the trunk of a Sonoran oak. See there? Coming right out of it. And on closer inspection, I see that this smaller one is totally dead. Aha! So this either means that the juniper was already dead when the Sonoran oak started growing, or they were competing and the oak tree won out. Fascinating and beautiful. Here's a big old juniper with a small Sonoran oak tree right under it. And one more over here. The big juniper, the small Sonoran oak tree under its branches. Well, that's it for the waffle garden and for the nurse plants. I will keep you posted on how those waffle gardens go, and you have a wonderful day. I love you. God bless you. Mwah! Jesus loves you. He's the exact image of the invisible God. He said to his friends, they said, "Show us the Father." And he said, "Have I been with you all this time and you don't know me?" He was claiming that he is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, and the Creator of the universe. I know it's astounding. It's hard to believe. But just believe, because it's true. He loves you. Adios.